And we're not even saying that the next election we're going to win. We're just saying we need to create an awareness. We need to have the conversations that other political parties are not having. But they only met me through Wally. But I had been given and doing all those things that I'm still doing. That's why it's called my money. It's not my husband's money. It's not my father's money. This is something I earned through hard work and grinding. I remember I've been working since I was 15 years old. Kebe.
Neneh Cheyassin Secka Kebe.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Thank you so much for joining the Issues That Matter platform. First of all, why do you decide to take on party politics publicly to run as a, presidential candidate or as a running mate with your colleague Saikou Sawo?
I decided to join Saikou Sawo out of frustration. When we became friends, I was introduced to him by his wife. She wanted us to meet because every time I would have dinner or lunch with her, I would just explain my frustrations and things that I felt were not being handled. Because I became a philanthropist, and the more time I spent outside of my comfort zone, the more poverty and hardship became apparent to me. And every time we would sit down, I would tell her about how things are affecting family members, things are affecting people around me. And she suggested I meet her husband because she thinks we both had similar frustrations and we both talked about the same frustrations. So when she introduced us, we hit it off. We sat down and we kept talking for hours. And I said to him, if we're both so unhappy, instead of being part of the people who are complaining about the system, why don't we join Gambians and change the system? And that's how Golden Era Party was born, just like that. So from a conversation merely based on frustration. So we both have a lot in common. He lived in the United States. I was obviously born in the United States. We've had similar struggles. We both worked hard. We were able to build a life for ourselves in the United States, and we were both very successful. We both moved to Gambia, and we both want to live in Gambia. So we felt like since we're back home, instead of not being bothered by the issues that affect daily Gambians, it would be important for us to pour back into Gambia. And that's how the Golden Party was born. So I feel like we can make a difference because we don't have any party affiliations and we are not beholding to any political party. And we didn't see any party that was effective enough for us to go join. We wanted, and this is a movement to us. And we're not even saying that the next election we're going to win. We're just saying we need to create an awareness. We need to have the conversations that other political parties are not having. We're here to talk to the Gambian people directly. We want them to know they're being heard, and we are here to make those changes for the Gambian people.
Where were you during the struggle of dictatorship during the Jammeh era when a lot of people were condemning him and coming out to protest? Not much was heard from you in those days.
Well, I wasn't in the Gambia. I was in the United States. Remember, I was born in the United States. I came back when I was 4 years old. My parents moved back when I was 4 years old. And in 1981, my father was arrested and went to prison for the coup d'etat under Jawara. So I have been gone since I was 8 years old. I came back when I was 40 for my father's funeral and then left again after the funeral. I did not come back until I was 50 years old. So I have lived outside of Gambia for most of my life. When I retired at age 50, that's when I decided to come back. There were a lot of things about my father that I was missing. I had a lot of issues and I had a lot of things to work through. And I just felt like Gambia would give me the connection I needed because I was trying to understand him. Because when he left when I was 8, it displaced my family. It's usually very difficult when a father figure is uprooted and he leaves 4 children with a wife. So we had to leave Gambia and we relocated to America. So there was definitely a disconnect. And when he came back, after 11 years, we were already adults. I was in my 20s, I was already in college, and we expected him to stay in the United States. He came, he got offered jobs. He had a job with CNN that he turned down. He had a job offer as a lecturer at American University, which was one of the universities he attended. And then he was offered 6 figures. We expected him to stay and to reconnect, but he couldn't, he wouldn't. So I always had like it was like a jealousy for Gambia because there's a level of connection and a level of love for Gambia that he had that I couldn't understand. So I always felt like I was competing with Gambia for my father's love or his attention. So when we reconnected at age 40, he was supposed to come visit us that summer, and he died in March 29th. So there's always been that emotional turmoil as a child and as a person that I had to deal with. So coming back to Gambia gave me that connection. I was able to connect back with his family. I was able to build relationship with his family. I was able to understand him better and understand Gambia. And I could see how he fell in love with Gambia. A lot of things about Gambia make sense because there's a level of peace and a level of connection that you feel when you're here. As a Black person or as an African American, you don't have that there in America. You always feel like an outsider. But Gambia made me feel like I was home. So I came, I bought properties, I reconnected, I started giving back, I started connecting with the people of Gambia. So I could see now. So it's one of those things that I've had to walk through as a person. So
Okay.
that's how we got here.
Yeah, okay. So I was specifically referring to the fact that, like, to whom much is given, of course, much is expected.
What is
You
expected.
didn't reconnect with the Gambia, but like during those infamous Jammeh era when he used to come and address the United Nations General Assembly, or when he comes to the
I
United
was not politically aligned then. I was not. I was very disconnected from Gambia. That's the point I was trying to make. I felt like he chose Gambia over us. I felt like he lived here and he forgot about the family that was waiting for him. So I was very, very disconnected from him. You have to understand there are a lot of family issues that happens when a father is displaced from his children. So the days of Jammeh, I would hear about stories. I knew about things that were happening, but I was not entrenched in it. No, I was very removed, very removed. The connection did not happen until 4 years ago when I came back. That's when the connection happened.
So, what response do you have to say about critics who will say, okay, you already found things on a silver platter. Now you coming to harvest because we needed you at that hour of need. Because if you were not either participating, maybe you would have been you would have called out Jammeh maybe through press release or through press statement, or maybe even doing videos condemning the things that happened during this time. So what would you have to say about critics who would throw those accusations at you?
15, 20 years ago, I am not the woman I am now. I was trying to build myself, finish college, get married, have children, and trying to find a career. The person I am now, as a retired millionaire, is not the person I was 15, 20 years ago. I could not have made the difference that you or society would expect because I was not in the position to do so. I'm in the position to do so now because I now am in the position to help people make a difference. At those 15, 20 years ago, I'm still trying to find who Neneh Cheyassin Secka is. Neneh Cheyassin Secka was trying to build a career, raise a family, build a business, build a life, deal with her emotional connection, so that you have to make sure you're in a position to help yourself first before you can help others. So my voice to Jammeh would not have definitely made a difference. I didn't have the financial strength or the financial power that I have now. No. I have a better voice today because I prepared myself the last 20 years. I'm in a better position now. If I wasn't, you and I wouldn't be on the phone now having a conversation. I don't think you would have cared what I had to say 20 years ago.
Okay, so still on the issue of the past, um,
Okay.
you, I mean, a lot of people, including myself, discovered you, um, rather in a very bizarre way. That is, some might say, flaunting your wealth on Wally Secka. You know, it was a
Okay.
public outcry that, I mean, who is this woman? Who is this guy? You know, I mean, displaying, I mean, maybe living a kind of ostentatious lifestyle. So why can't you, I mean, because most Gambians are critical of someone displaying their wealth or giving excessive to musicians. So, I mean, how did you manage to contain that storm?
I didn't care what people had to say. It didn't really bother me. People are entitled to their opinion. And those who were criticizing me didn't really know me. Remember, they only met me through Wally, but I had been given and doing all those things that I'm still doing since I got here. But because I was not in the public eye, they didn't know who I was. So, and what I have given to Wally, it's peanuts compared to what I pour into Gambia. And I just want Gambians to get out of the mentality for them to think that they should dictate to people how they should spend their money or what they should do with their money. No, you don't get to have that right. That's why it's called my money. And it's not my husband's money, it's not my father's money. This is something I earned through hard work and grinding. I remember I've been working since I was 15 years old. I've had two jobs and put myself through college by myself through my hard work. I worked two jobs until I was 15 years old. I opened a business 16, 17 years ago with my sister. And thank God it's a successful business and the business is sustainable. And we've been able to maintain the business. And the business is in a position where it runs itself without me not physically being there. But I've earned it. And I have a right to spend it however way I want. Everyone has that right. And those who criticize are the ones who don't have because they're busy worrying about what somebody else has and what they're spending their money on. So I really don't pay attention to that. And the Wally thing is the reason why we're here. It was a good marketing ploy.
So you did it deliberately?
It was intentional. Of course, it was intentional. It was intentional. I was trying to grow my TikTok page. I was looking for a marketing ploy to grow my TikTok page. And the only way I could do that was to do something that would create a buzz that would lead people to my page. And today, Alhamdulillah, because when I had my page, I had 10,000 followers on my TikTok page. Today, in less than 8 months, I have over 130,000 on TikTok page. My page is a page that pays me. I make money off of TikTok. Everything I post, I get paid. So I already knew what I was doing. You
So how
guys
much did you
obviously didn't have
how
an
much did
idea.
you give Wally?
He that night he I gave him $300,000 C's. And the following night, we had dinner. I gave him another 50,000 because half of the money I gave him here he was giving away. People came up to him even before he left the stage. He was giving money away. And then I thought he was coming with his wife. So I had gone to bijouterie and I bought the wife a necklace set. That set was about $395,000. The people who named him after me, who made me mother of the night, sorry, I had given them 150,000. And the Giriads, the girls that came, I had given 10, 15,000. So that night I spent $1 million. Altogether, I spent $1 million. But they had already told me in July that they were going to make me mother of the night. So I had already planned myself. So I know $1 million sounds like a lot to the average Gambian, but somebody who's worth millions in dollars, that's not money. That's not money. And you don't get to decide how I spend it. I've spent 1.5 million right now just in charity events that I contribute to, and the year is not over. We're only in September. There are people here who have way more than I do. They don't give. They're not involved in the community. Why don't you go to them and ask them questions and hold them accountable? And people were complaining. They were saying how I would give money to Wally because Wally is worth more than I do. Why would I give him my money knowing that he's worth it? I laugh at that because you don't know what I'm worth. If I'm giving Wally $1 million, $1 million in one day, and I'm still giving, and to this day I'm giving, clearly I'm not going to give something that is going to affect me financially. That would not make sense. I already have a budget that I live within every month. And the charities that I give are within that financial budget. I don't do anything that causes me financial distress. And if at age 50 I'm able to retire and live in Gambia the way that I live, clearly it's because I can afford it. And the other thing that I never talk about is who I'm married to. I'm married to Njuga Kebe's son. I'm married to a billionaire's son. So, and he's the oldest son of Njuga Kebe, and they live in Senegal, and I am his only wife. So money is not a question for me. My responsibility is to give money the way I am supposed to, which is what I do. I give, I spend it on people that I care about. I take care of my family. I take care of my father's family. To this day, all my father's compounds, all the compounds that have family members, I support them financially every month. It's automatic. I've been doing that since my father died, and to this day, I'm doing it. So I know what my responsibilities are, and I take care of my responsibilities. So what's left? I'm allowed to live as loudly as I want. And you have to also understand this is difficult for Gambians. As much as I am a Gambian, I have an African American upbringing. So the perception of the way they look at things is completely different from the perception of the way that I look at things. So I think that's where the rift is.
Okay, now how do you hope to how do you hope to
I'm not coming. Go ahead. Okay. Yes.
yeah, how do you hope to bridge the rift when you are hoping your hope is on State House, number one Marina Parade, you are going to you are hoping to be the second in command in the country, a country where, according to the latest statistics, the per capita income is less than $500. Now, you have teamed up with a millionaire. So when people say, I mean, this is a team of millionaire. So I mean, they are going to cater for the middle class. They are going to cater for the super rich. They do not have any affinity with us. They wouldn't really know what the average or the poor man in the smallest communities in the Gambia feel. So how do you hope to to make sure that critics who are putting those accusing fingers at you, you get away with it. You make some points to convince them that you are for real and that you are for everybody.
First of all, we did not become a millionaire because we were handed anything. We worked, earned our way, and made our money. You know how it is to live in America. You know how difficult it is to figure out the system, not only as a Black person, but as a Black African. You have to be 10 times better than the average American. That's one. You have to worry about prejudiced thoughts. You have to worry about racist people. And you have to beat a system that is not built for Black people. We have that grit. We have that hard work. We have that work ethic. That's what we bring to Gambia. And you have to understand, Cheyassin Secka was from very, very humble beginnings. He was able to build a life through hard work and education. And that's the same drive that I have been taught. Nothing was handed to us. Everything we have was built for us. Everything. So for someone to want to penalize us because we are rich or because we are wealthy, according to them, that should be unfair. They should figure out how we were able to get to this point because that's what we bring. 90% of the politicians that you have hired and given a job came and took the resources of Gambia and created their own wealth. Don't you think it's about time Gambia hires people that already have that wealth?
But
We are coming.
what difference will it make? Because
It will make a difference because guess what? We're not stealing the resources to create wealth. We are not creating wealth based on the Gambian resources and using those wealths for ourselves. We are not mismanaging the resources of Gambia. We're not building a Gambia that is based on corruption. We have allegiance to no one. We are coming in with experiences that we've had outside of Gambia that we can help implement with the Gambian people that we know will work because nothing else has worked. As you said, the average earning per capita per Gambia is $500. That is nothing compared to the rest of the world. A bag of rice is $3,400 C, and the average Gambian pays a minimum of $5,000 C rent. So what else is left? We need a system. The system is broken. We need a revamp of the entire system so that we can produce, hold people accountable, and do things that would work for the average Gambian. What has worked the last 10 years? The situation is worse now than it was 10 years ago. No one, it seems like no one is in charge. It's a free fall. Everybody is doing what they want to do. A young man was killed 2 days ago. We have yet to hear anything from the leader. He's supposed to be the father of our nation. Why aren't you out here calming everyone down? We as Gambians have better issues to worry about than to worry about the fact that we are wealthy. You should learn from us. We are going to bring in ideas that the government don't have clearly. Why don't you try a different method? Why don't you hire people who have already established themselves and their own lives? Some of these politicians you have in the system came with nothing and now are worth millions of dollars. So where did you think these monies are coming from? It's coming from the resources of the country. It's coming from mismanagement. It's coming from corruption. I think those are the things we should focus on. Don't focus on me and my wealth. I'm okay. And even if you don't hire me, my life doesn't change. We're not doing this to change our lives. We are doing this because we believe Gambia deserves better and we are in a position to give back. This is us giving back based on what we've learned. And there are other diasporans that are willing to join us and build a better Gambia. We're not saying we know it all and we can do it all. No. We are saying we want to create a path so we can bring the knowledge of the other Gambians that are outside of Gambia to come in here and work with us and build a better Gambia for all. And that is not happening right now.
So how prepared are you for the rigors of campaigning and for the rigors of name calling, mudslinging? I mean, usually they say Gambian women don't have thick skin when it comes to politics because people haul insults at them left, right, and center. Are you thick skin?
Clearly, I survived Wally. I'm sitting here. I'm thick-skinned. Wally was going
But
through the Wally
Wally
thing.
may be like a minute, like a drop in the ozone. There
Okay.
may be other things that may come, that may be thrown at you. So you think the
What
Wally
I'm saying
song?
to you, what I can say to you is we are not into dirty politics. We're not going to throw stones at anyone else. We don't care about the back and forth of the other parties. We are here to talk to the average Gambian. We are here to listen. We're here to build a coalition. We're here to build a movement. We have a company spokesperson for our party. That will be her job to decide to respond or not. I will not be responding because responding is a distraction to what we are about and to what we're trying to accomplish. We don't want to lose the message. We want every Gambian, every village, every town to hear us because we are planning and we already started to physically meet every Gambian the next 14 months to teach them politics. We don't want you coming to give them a bag of rice, $5,000 oil, and some fish and get their vote and leave them stranded the next 5 years. No, 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 no. We're teaching them what they're worth. We're teaching them what their vote means. We are at a pivotal change right now. If we don't move from where we are, there will come a point families will only be able to feed themselves once a day. We are trying to change that. So whatever noises are around us, we plan to ignore and stay the course. We are not here to talk about anybody's mudslinging and who doesn't like who now. We're here to talk about why, when you go to the hospitals in Gambia, it does not matter how severe your illness, you leave there with paracetamol. We're about to talk about why you go to amputate your leg or part of your body because of diabetes, you have to buy the bag where they discard your limbs. We're about to talk about a hospital in Banjul where they have no beds, where the people that are at the hospital sleep on the floor. We're about to talk about $360 million that was put into the system for agriculture, and we don't know where that money went because there's no agricultural infrastructure in Gambia right now. We're about to talk about the average Gambian not having water. We're about to talk about the average Gambian not having light. We're about to talk about the average Gambian graduating 12th grade and having to stay home because they don't have enough vocational schools to send our children to. There are lots of issues in Gambia. We're going to deal up with those fundamental issues, which are our human right, our basic right, our right to clean water, our right to electricity, our right to good education. We have issues. I am not going to focus on that. That is just a distraction.
I
You
didn't.
will never hear me. You will never hear me respond to a negative comment. Never. I already have them on I already have them now on my platform. There are people already sending out negative comments. You'll never hear me respond to that because it's a distraction. My goal is to learn about the system, continue to create assurance and build a relationship with Gambians so they can trust us because they have trust issues. The last 20 years, the Gambian people have been given broken promises. We're here to create a liaison so that we are the ones they vote for so that we can make a difference.
I'm too concerned about the congested number and still now increasing number of presidential aspirants for a country of
I'm actually very excited because
less
guess
than
what?
less than 2 million, or not more than 2 million. And then it
I'm
is simple majority, first past the post, which means even with what every vote counts. So I don't too worried about it. Maybe spending your money, knowing full well the incumbent or the other known parties are likely going to carry the day.
it's not possible for the likely two major parties to carry the vote. 60% of Gambians are not happy. And 60% of
What makes you
Gambians,
believe that
based on our
they are going to
survey,
trust you for to
why not? Why not? They have voted for the other existing parties the last 10 years. What have they done? Go by their track record. What have they done? They have not accomplished what they promised the Gambian people. The average Gambian is poorer today than they were 10 years ago.
But some might tend to say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
Okay, then I leave it up to the Gambian people to decide. But I can tell you 60% of Gambians right now are walking around and they don't know who to give their vote to. They're still searching. I'm sorry?
Undecided?
Yes, they're very undecided. They're still searching of who to give their votes to. So everything is in the open. Everyone has a right to build their own coalition. And we believe in the path that we're going. We believe in our coalition. When we came out yesterday, we came out with a website explaining what our plan is. I don't see any candidate out here right now, apart from the mudslinging that they're doing across each other, that has created a platform for Gambians. Yesterday was our first day out. We had to change the format of our website because we had over 1,000 people who are asking to volunteer. Over 1,000. We have a team of 10 individuals that are now working 24 hours a day to help us build a coalition. This is not a game. And we are not investing into Gambia because we want them to vote for us. No. Even if it doesn't happen the way we plan, we are staying here. We will continue to be involved. We will continue to help, and we will continue to make a difference. It is not by force. We are saying we want to build, and we are going to build a coalition. We know it's going to take a coalition to win this election. We know that. But we also want to create our platform first. We are not against a coalition. We're open to it.
So
We're going to create a platform. Based on that platform, it's not time yet. We still have 14 months to go. A lot is about to happen. It's going to be it's going to be a very interesting election.
So if there is a coalition now, who do you tip to be the candidate that you are going to support or endorse?
Right now, we will only endorse people that align with our beliefs. We will only endorse people that have the same plans that we do. And right now, there are a couple of people who are out that align, that we're talking to and looking at. But if you don't align with what we believe in, we will not align with you. And let me make this clear. Someone called me yesterday after TikTok and saying, well, people come out and they do really well, and the major party always hires that person, and the person, after everything they've said, they end up joining the major party. That won't happen to us because no one can afford us financially.
In politics, you never say never. So
I say never. For the two major parties, I say never. They have a proven track record. For me, based on what I know, I say never. Because I am not in this for political clout. I already have it. I'm the daughter of Cheyassin Secka. I come with that. I'm not doing it for money. I already have that. I'm doing this because I believe Gambia deserves better. End of story. So there's nothing he can bring to me that I don't already have or own. So it's going to be very difficult for anyone else to come and not come with the right platform for us to give up our integrity. It's impossible. It's not possible because we are both very okay and we are willing to pour and invest into this election and not win. It's okay. But at least we have created an awareness. We have created a movement. Because most of the time, people vote because they're not aware. They feel a connection to that candidate that is not realistic. So our job is to teach politics, is to teach a sense of awareness and to let people know that Gambia belongs to us. We decide. We're not going to vote based on party lines. We're not going to vote based on tribal affiliations. No, we're going to vote because Gambia deserves better.
So can you disclose to us your campaign war chest for 2026?
No,
Why?
it's too early. It's too early. And I'll let Saikou do that. That's his job. That's his job. That's his position. There are things that I have to allow him to do because he's the leader of our party. So when you talk to him, ask him that. It will be up to him. We have to create a united front and we have to create solidarity. Because this is the first time a vice president and a president have ran together. So we have to be very respectful and very sensitive to each other and to know, then you want to have, understand? So there's some things that I will let him handle.
Okay. So, I mean, I was going to come to that. Why did you decide to come, in this format, in the U.S. style? Do you want to import some of the good ideas you have in the U.S. to the Gambia?
Oh, yeah. This is an Obama movement. Remember how Obama knocked on every door?
Yes.
And had a conversation with every person and physically touched and listened and created policies based on the needs of the people? That's what this is. That's why I say it's not a political party, it's a political movement. So if you want to know the chess games that we're going to play, go back and look at the Obama elections.
So, what about the issues of the day? I mean, I'm sure you've had the time to look around the country, especially provincial Gambia. What have you seen in terms of the disparity between what happens in the city and what happens in rural settlements?
The rural settlement things are really bad. It feels like Gambia is not in the 21st century. The rest of the world has moved on and left us behind. The basic amenities are not here. The roads are still bad. There's no educational system. There are
Wait a
some
minute.
areas
Wait a
where.
minute. The government has been touting its massive infrastructural development. I mean, the construction of bridges.
And do you think that the massive infrastructural system and the amount of money the government loaned to build these roads, you think the structure is successful? Have you seen the flooding that is still happening? When I go to Mirror on the days that I have an appointment, when it rains, staff cannot come to work because, first of all, transportation stops because these buses and the taxis that they use, it's so much water that the taxis cannot come out to pick them up. They cannot leave their houses because there's so much water that they can't get out. No one functions when it rains here. That's not a developing society. You know how much it rains and snows in America. Even when we have 2-3 feet snow, people are still able to report to work in a few hours because a system has been built. Am I lying?
No.
That's the same infrastructure we need. This is just rain. How
But it
can you
takes
not get
time.
out of your house?
It takes time. The level at which America is, if you want the Gambia to get
No,
to
no, no. Yes, but then why not aspire? We are aspiring to be a nation of development. We cannot say that. We cannot pick and choose what we want to do. That's not how it works. First of all, the existing roads that have been built don't work. We still have the same flooding issues. I don't know what engineers they used, but all they did was just grade the ground and create a road. There's no drainage system. We still have the gutter issues. So if they want to tout the roads, that's not a good idea. Because as far as I'm concerned, the roads are a disaster. No, do not use the roads. Because, first of all, they're still working on them. The ones that they've worked on are still flooded. The same issues we had before the roads were fixed are the same issues we still have. So, what roads? I think the roads will be along, maybe before they were completed, you could say the roads, but not right now. Most of the roads, I can send you pictures now. The gutters that were built are now packed with trash. That's where people put their trash. So what roads? Please do not use that. Because before the roads should have been built, an underground system should be built. An underground drainage system should be built. That's where you start. So all the water has a system that it goes through. What engineers design the roads? Even the engineering of the roads is faulty. Why are they collecting trash now instead of water? And the water just sits on top of it. What roads? No, no roads. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, one other major issue which will also kind of hamper your chances is both of you, if I stand to be corrected, both of you are dual citizens, and part of the Gambian law, unless it is amended, and I doubt whether it's going to be amended anytime soon, if you are holding U.S. citizenship and then a Gambian citizen, you cannot be president. So are you
We've already
US
started.
citizenship?
We have already started the process of returning our citizenships.
Just for the sake of Gambia?
Yes, we've already done that. The process takes about 10 months. We've already both done that.
Wow.
Gambia is worth it to us. And there has to be people who believe in the process. And we've already earned our money in America. We pay enough taxes there. We want to come pour that in Gambia. So giving up our citizenship was one of the first things we did. And we went through our lawyer, Badu Conte, and he's already started the process. So that's a done deal.
Okay. So finally, what other issues do you hope to take on in terms of making so the theory that you are talking to me about? Because most politicians, once they want power, they talk about things that sometimes are realistic. Sometimes some of them are going to be difficult once you step in. Because when President Barrow, before he came to power, he said it's one thing before you become a president to say certain things, but once you are in day one, it's completely different. So what's going to make you different?
What I can say is there's been a lot of funding that was poured into Gambia, and Gambia does not reflect all of that funding. There's been a lot of corruption and a lot of mismanagement. One of my biggest concerns that I have is education. I know we blame students for graduating with poor grades. We blame students because they're not passing the standardized education. But I think the system is bigger than that. Gambia as a nation has not invested in education. Yes, we have a vocational school, we have a vocational system.
We have a university.
But once teachers...
We have two universities, public universities. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, two universities for 600,000 students for an entire country. Two universities for 600,000 students. Two. Banjul, we went to Banjul. They have one vocational school for the entire Banjul. We are not prioritizing education. In America, the educational system has a budget, a yearly budget, correct? That budget, one of the budgets is poured into education. How? By training the teachers. And the teacher certification every year is tied to their increase in salary, which gives the teachers an incentive every year to take that 3-month class that they need to be better teachers. Technology is changing every day. Information is changing every day. If you don't give teachers an incentive and make a yearly concession for teachers to be trained yearly. How do you expect them to improve their teaching? There are no resources for that. We don't pay teachers enough money for them to want to take their teaching job seriously. So the system starts with us. If we want change, you create better teachers to be able to teach our children. It's common sense. Create an environment that is conducive for learning. I have been to classrooms that don't have windows.
In the
I
Gambia?
have been, yes. I have been to classrooms that don't have fans. I've been to classrooms that are so hot during the day, I wonder how the students are even able to sit in those classrooms. I have been to classrooms where parents end up donating tables and chairs because the ones that are there are in such bad condition. I've been to schools that don't have running water, that the water is in buckets for children to use the bathroom. So if it's not conducive for learning, how do you expect them to learn? And there are some basic fundamentals as a government that is part of our responsibility. That doesn't take a lot of money. You just need to give a damn and you just need to be intentional. You cannot pick one thing in the system that the government has done right that they can tout about. One. Name me one that is working for the people. The entire infrastructure needs to be changed. We need to start over.
The bridge.
And if
No,
you
the
go,
bridge
if you go to our
infrastructure.
website,
No, the bridge, the two bridges, that is the Senegambia bridge, Farafenye Bambatenda Yelitenda, and the Basse, those are major landmarks that I don't think you have.
so those two landmarks in 10 years are enough,
Well,
based on the millions of dollars that have been poured into Gambia. Those two bridges are
no,
enough.
I'm nothing is hardly enough.
Yeah, so why are we towering just those two things? That's the thing. We're such minimalists. We're so used to accepting nothing that anything they give us, we act like we're accepting breadcrumbs. That's what it seems like to me. We're accepting breadcrumbs. We deserve better. It is our right. We pay taxes. We need a computerized, centralized system that accounts for every dollar that is paid. We need to create a system where your taxes are not paid in cash, that you go to the central banking system and you pay there. No one should be accepting cash. There is no way the government has a handle on the taxes that have been paid. It's not possible. If they did, I can tell you a personal story that happened to me.
Okay,
I took
fine.
a niece of mine to court because I bought a car from her and her husband for $20,000. They sold me the car. I gave them $16,000, and in 3 weeks, the car stopped working. The car died. Eventually, I was able to get a lawyer. I took them to court. We finally went to court last July, after 3 years of trying to see a judge. We finally went to court in July. Guess what we found out? The car dealership is running in Gambia, but they don't have a business license, which means they've never paid taxes. That dealership has been in Gambia for over 5 years. It's a Nigerian-owned dealership. It's been here for over 5 years. It has sold millions of dollars in taxes, in cars, and they have never paid taxes. If you have a centralized, computerized system, that would never happen. And to this day, the dealership is running without a license. And I'm sure there are hundreds of other businesses that are running right now that don't pay taxes. But if you create a centralized system, a computerized system that you go through to get a business license, guess what? The system will recognize those who haven't paid. They know how much you generate each year. You'll be compelled to pay your taxes online, not to a particular person. These are the things why I say the system is corrupt and is not working. I am basing it on things that have personally happened to me from living in Gambia. Like I said, our party was opened, our movement was started because of the daily frustrations that we face. When you talk to Saikou, he's going to tell you what he went through to open a business that him and his wife poured almost $2 million into. Even the system fights against you when you want to pour into Gambia correctly. The mentality has to change. The way we do business has to change. These things are not immaculate things. No, they're not. You just have to care and you have to be intentional. So the transformational things that we're saying are not things that cannot be accomplished. They are. The resources are here. It's just mismanagement. So we're not making promises that we cannot keep. We're making promises based on the infrastructure that we see, and it's also based on the monies that we see in Gambia. The money is here. When I went to Banjul this weekend, one of the major complaints of the youth in Gambia is when they are hired to work, to fish, they're hired there as laborers. And once the Chinese collect the fish, they leave with all the fish. There is no fish for the average Gambian to be able to sell in the market for us to buy. Who made that decision? When that decision was made, it was not made in the best interest of the Gambians. No, we are capable of fishing ourselves. Why can't we fish, sell what we want, and still have enough for the average Gambian to live off? Why? So no, it's mismanagement.
Finally, what else would you like to say regarding your political movement, as you call it?
I call it a political movement because I know it's going to take time to create awareness for all Gambians. That's why it's a movement. I don't like looking at it as a political party because that gives it a negative connotation in my mind. This movement is to create awareness and for us as Gambians for no longer to accept crumbs, to know that we are the one who decides because we are the ones who vote for what we want and what we deserve. So we have the power. We will no longer take broken promises. We will hold people accountable and we will vote for people based on competence, not based on allegiance. So we're ready. We're ready. And I'm very, very excited. Very excited.
Well, thank you so much, Neneh Cheyassin Secka Kebe.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right,
I'll
you
talk to
too.
you soon.
All right.
Bye.